Before we start, I just want to make it very clear that for this tutorial, I'll be using Photoshop Beta for a very specific reason. And that reason is because the new and improved object selection tool now allows you to easily target and select certain parts of your image. You can target accessories such as the dress, you can target the arms, neckline areas, face, nose, and so much more. So if you would like to follow along with this tutorial with this exact same feature, you will need to go into your Creative Cloud and download Photoshop Beta in the Beta tab right here. With that being said, the way that I like to apply any type of design onto any fabric or material, I like to use the Shape tool. The reason for this is because the Shape tool allows us to simply get ourselves a box that is roughly the same size as the person. We can turn this into a template by right-clicking and then converting this to a smart object. This will allow us to open this up, and in here we can apply our design. So for me, I have this lemon design right here. I'm just going to drag and drop it into here. We're going to rotate it, scale it up, and then we can now delete the shape. We don't really need it. You want to press X, close it down, and press yes to save in the changes. And now we're going to do the most important step, which is to warp this onto the person. Now, when it comes to warping, the best thing to do is to press 5 on your keyboard to lower the opacity down to 50%. And we're going to press Control or Command and T. From here, we can right click and go to warp. If you've never seen this or used it before, it's really simple. You have a default 3x3 grid, which allows you to target and warp anything inside of it. And you can also curve it around any areas. For example, if you need to curve it around, let's say, a rounded object, you can stretch this out or you can shrink it down, and this will warp it exactly how you want it to be. You can also change the grid at the top. Right here, you can have a 5x5, which makes it more specific. However, for us, we're going to do this manually, so we don't need to do that. What we're going to do is we're just going to warp it as normal. And starting off, we're going to drag the corners in. You want to pinpoint the top and the bottom. So this one's going to go here. Move this one further in. Make sure you move these corner points as well. These ones are responsible for the overall stretch. And so far, so good. However, we also need to warp it in the middle. And this is when the split option comes into hand, because this option allows you to either split it vertically and horizontally, or you can split it vertically or horizontally only. You can also use the shortcut, which is to hold Control or Command, and this will automatically give you a preview of both if you're in the center. If you go closer to the edge on the left side, you will get a horizontal one only, and near the bottom, you'll get a vertical one. Now for us, we only need a horizontal one right here. So then we can bring this one back in and then warp it onto the dress. We now need to bring this one back out. So once again, hold Control, left click, drag this one out, and then place it onto here. We're going to shrink this down, make sure this is on the dress. We're going to also drag this one down and warp it like so. We're also going to add in an additional one at the top right here. And drag this one down. Drag this one a bit further in. Stretch it out. Same for this one as well. Sometimes the warping can be a little bit difficult, so you will need to adjust all of the points. From here, we're just going to hold Control, zoom in, and we can also apply a both vertical and horizontal. So here would be a perfect opportunity to add in both, and this will allow us to twist it this way. The great thing about this is that we can also follow this pattern and just follow the natural flow of the fabric. And then from here, we're going to move on to the upper half. You can once again get a horizontal one only, right about here. What we're going to do is we're going to hold Shift, select this one, and all three of them, and just shift this up. This will stretch it out, and it'll make it look like it's on the fabric. With this one, we're just going to bring it down slightly, right up to here. Bring this one back in. And now we can include another one above it. And this one is going to sit right under here. Bring this one down slightly. Place this one here. Going to stretch this one out a little bit. We can add in an additional one here as well. And then one more above to bring it back in, right up to here. And then once you're happy with the changes, you can either press enter or go to the tick icon at the top. And there we go. We have now warped it onto the dress. We need to bring it back to 100%. So you can press 0 on your keyboard. And what we're going to do is we're going to hide this layer, select the background, and we're going to target the dress by using the quick selection tool. Left click on here. You can also set this to the plus for the mode. And if there's any areas that are not included, you can just left click, drag yourself a selection using the lasso tool. And there we go. It has now selected it. You'll also have certain areas that will need subtracting. For example, up here, we're just going to take it away by holding Alt. And then sometimes you may also need to switch back to a manual tool, such as the polygonal lasso tool, just because it will struggle deselecting certain areas. Get yourself a nice clean selection. And then we're going to subtract this bit as well. We're just going to clean it up, make sure there's everything included. All the little small details. It will save us time fixing it later on. Same as this area. Once you're happy with your selection and you've corrected it, you can now get yourself a group. And what we're going to do is we're going to mask this group with this selection. So now if we drag and drop this layer right here, it will automatically crop it with this mask. And what we can do now is we can also blend this to the dress just by setting the effect to multiply. And you can see it will bring back the dark shadows. The next step from here is to apply any more additional warping. So for example, you may have certain areas that need manual warping because with the natural folds of the dress, you'll have areas where this part of the lemon would actually be further down. And the way I like to do this is I like to use the polygonal lasso tool, and I like to be very specific to the area that I'm working with. Let's say that we wanted to focus on this fold right here. I would create a selection on the fabric, following the line as well. Going around on this side, connecting it up, and setting the feather to 3. Once you've done that, you want to select your layer. We're going to call this one Mockup. And then go to Filter, down to Liquify. In here, we're just going to zoom in as normal. And you can ignore the other settings. These are just additional ones. But the most important ones are the view options. You want to show mask. This will target the area that you're working with. You can set it to all layers, background, or mockup only. I just have it set to all layers, and I have it behind. And you can also change the opacity. This will determine the difference between the before and after. Now, once you've got yourself the brush, all you need to do now is simply make the brush a little bit bigger, and we're just going to drag this down. We're going to shift this onto the fabric and make it look realistic. Drag this down a little bit more, just like so. We don't want to be too aggressive. We just want to be nice and gentle with this. We're just going to drag this one slightly up a little bit. You can also undo if you make any mistakes. And I would say somewhere around here. And then once you're happy with the changes, you can go ahead and press OK. And there we go. The before and after, it just looks more natural. You can follow the same steps, and what this will do is it will continue applying it onto this smart object right here. And the great thing about this smart object is that you can also subtract any areas. So let's say that you're not happy with this area, you can use the brush tool, and by selecting this mask, we can just switch it over to a black and then subtract it from here. And this will bring it back to the original, same as this bit as well. And the next step from here is I'm going to apply a very light color fringe onto the dress right here, because naturally you would have a little bit of a color fringe coming off the motorcycle. And to do this, really simple, create yourself a new layer above this one. By using the brush tool, we would increase the brush, make sure it's set to a low opacity of 35, set it to 0% for the hardness, and then you can just hold Alt, Option key, and then sample yourself a color. We're going to go with this really nice baby blue, and then we're just going to lightly apply it onto here. And the great thing about this is that because we have the mask, it will automatically crop it. So we just want to lightly apply it onto here. At the moment, it's a little bit too aggressive. And what we're going to do is we're going to set this to color for the effect, and then lower the opacity down to around, let's say 64, just to soften it up a little bit. And there we go. That's looking better. We're also going to refine the overall mask itself, because from a distance, it looks okay. But once you start to zoom in, you will notice the little imperfections, and it just looks unnatural where we have the rough selection. There is 2 ways they can do this. You can do it either the manual way, which is to use a brush tool. And what you would do is you would set it to a white color and then just lightly apply it onto here, making sure you still have a low opacity. This will just gradually bring it back. We can introduce it right here. And if you wanted to see a preview of what it looks like, you can also hold Alt and then left click on the mask, and this will show you exactly what you've applied. The other way to do this is, let's say that you're working with a big image and you have a lot of different edges. You can automatically apply it to all of this mask by selecting the properties. You would go back into the preview, or you can have a look in the normal one and just slowly increase the feather a little bit. This will just soften the mask and overall look to this. You can already tell the difference is starting to look better now. This is before and this is after. You want to apply just enough, but not too much, otherwise it's going to be way too soft. The next step from here is we're going to correct the lighting and make the dress look more natural. What we can do from here is we can also blend the overall mockup with the dress by double left clicking on here, opening up the blending options, and we're just going to drag the underlying layer of the likeness over to the left side. What this will do is this will make all of the really bright points visible. At the moment, it's a little bit too aggressive. So we're just going to soften this up by holding Alt, our Option key, and then just drag this one back out. This will just soften it up, but it'll still keep that bright area. From here, we're also going to select the background. You want to hide this group. And what we're going to do is we're going to go into the channels. You want to hold Control or Command and then left click on the RGB. This will target all of the really bright points. Going back onto the layers, we can go into the adjustments. And if you get yourself the curves, in here we can bring back the group. And we're just going to ramp this up by dragging the middle point up. You want to make sure it's clipped onto the one below. We're going to move it right above here and clip it onto this layer right here. The reason for this is because once we've bumped up all of the bright points, we're going to correct the levels by selecting this image, pressing Control or Command and L, the levels, and we're going to play around with the black point, the midpoint, and the white point. Specifically speaking, the black point, we're going to drag this over to the right, up until we get to this area right here. As you can see, it's automatically applying it onto this adjustment layer. We're also going to drag the midpoint slightly to the left to around, let's say, 1.43. If the lighting in your image is really complex and difficult, you can also add in an additional levels above this one by going into the adjustments, getting yourself the levels once again, and you can ramp up the dark points even more. But you want to be careful not to make it too aggressive, because if you go over to the side, it can also ruin the overall hue and color. For me, I would go with a subtle 32, looks really good. And then finally, the very last adjustment that I like to do, and I like to do it a little bit different, but you can do it multiple different ways, and that is to enhance the dark areas even more. Because this type of image is really difficult to work with, what we can do is we can manually add in some shadows right here. So once again, I personally like to use the polygonal lasso tool, simply because I can select this area, following the line, creating a nice clean selection. Connecting it back up. And by using the brush tool, we're going to create a new group and call this one shadows. And also add in a new layer. We're going to increase the brush with the square bracket on our keyboard. And you want to set it to a black color. Once again, a low opacity of 35, 0% for the hardness. And we're just going to lightly apply it onto here. You can switch between the sizes depending on what it would look naturally. And then once you're happy with the changes, we can deselect this. And I like to set this one to a soft light. You can see the before and after. It makes it look even better. We can also duplicate this, which will further make it aggressive. But we can also lower the opacity as well, which will soften it back up a little bit. We can apply the same principle for the other areas as well, such as here, and all of the other folds as well. The great thing about this is that you can always go back to your mockup as well. And if you wanted to rewarp it, you can press Ctrl or Command and T. Go back into the warp. You can just bring this one back down and it will automatically apply the changes. We can now press Enter, and there we go.